back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Splash City Basketball Podcast, your home for everything happening on the hardwood right here in the land of 10,000 lakes and across the upper Midwest. I'm your host, Steve Hartman, and I have an absolutely loaded show for you today. Before we dive into today's guest, you know what to do. Make sure you're following me on all social platforms at Splash City Podcast, or you can find everything at splashcitybasketball.com. So you never miss a breakdown, a video, YouTube, Instagram post. If you love what I'm doing, first of all, thank you. Hit that subscribe button, hit the follow on wherever you listen to podcasts, leave a review, share it with a friend, whatever you're going to do. Your support is immensely appreciated. Thank you so much. Before we get into today's special guest, let's talk about some local headlines that most of you hoops fans will care about. First of all, local college hoops fans got a gift last week when it was announced that the Gophers will be playing St. Thomas in both men's and women's basketball. That game is locked in November 6th for the men, December 1st for the women. In-state crosstown battle that we've been kind of begging to see. It's always been, I think, tough on the Gophers, and it's a kind of a no-win situation. But at this point, with revenue being more important in college basketball than ever, I think it's time that Minnesota realize, hey, if we're going to play a mid-major and we can add another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people into the building, that's a good thing. Plus, St. Thomas is not going to be a bottom feeder in the rankings and the analytics and the net and the KenPom rankings. So they're going to be in the middle of the pack. They're going to be in that 100 to 200 range most likely. So it helps the Gophers in that regard as well. I wrote about this in the most recent blog at hittingthehardwood.com. So check that out if you have time and want to read more on the Gophers. The WNBA, Minnesota Lynx are tearing it up. They're sitting at the top of the standings, despite losing over the weekend to Las Vegas. Can we talk about Olivia Miles for a minute here? The number 2 pick is absolutely on fire. She looks the part. She already locking up Rookie of the Year. It sure seems like that. Olivia Miles hitting the ground running, looks phenomenal. And then lastly, just to talk briefly about the NBA Finals. First time in 53 years, you got to talk about it. The Knicks are your champions. Jalen Brunson is easy to root for, takes down the Spurs in 5 games. I checked on my friend, guest of the pod, Nick, who's a Knicks fan. He's alive and well. Congrats, buddy. Happy for you. Happy for your squad. If you're interested, we've had some fun conversations over the last week or two about the Knicks, so check out that podcast as well. It's a great example of like a mix of players, right? The perfect mix, camaraderie, teamwork, trust, all that stuff. We'll talk more about that later with today's guest, but like the Knicks had a perfect mix of grit, toughness, skill, leadership. They had, the ability to adapt, play different ways. And a lot of that is Jalen Brunson, and it's led by him, and he's their star. He gets by on intelligence and toughness and strength, but also tons and tons and tons of skill, footwork, 2-footed jump stops. That's my favorite thing in basketball, like playing off 2 feet. But also like shout out to Cat, because I think a lot of Wolves fans, there were frustrations, of course, but ultimately wished him well. And he, much like other former Timberwolves, KG, Kevin Love, even Standrew Wiggins, Cat gets a title. He leaves Minnesota and gets a title. So Wolves fans will live for another day, but hopefully ours is coming soon. If the Knicks can get one for the first time in 53 years, maybe we can get ours. Today's guest is a guy who, we talked about culture and winning basketball and little things. He's the head boys basketball coach at St. Paul Central. Cam Jones is here today. So we'll get to him and what it takes building a winning program over at St. Paul Central. And with that, let's get into it. I'm extremely excited today to have with me the St. Paul City Conference Coach of the Year last season and St. Paul Central Minutemen head coach, Cam Jones. Cam, thanks a lot for joining me. Excited to talk to you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. Excited to talk some hoops.
Yeah, always. Yeah, it's you guys had a great season last year. I think it ended up 25-4, beat Johnson a couple times, won your league. So that was year 1 for you. How was that, just kind of rolling in and having the success you did in year 1? What was that like?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it was super fun, man. Really special group. The that we had. I knew some of the guys coming in, so I knew we'd have some success going into the season, but man, I didn't think we would. Yeah, this kind of exceeded my expectations. I didn't think we'd be, I'd first get coach of the year. So shout out to those guys. It was those guys who got me that, and my coaching staff as well. I didn't think we, have two co-players of the year and, be a top 10 team in 4A. That was not what if you would have said that was on my list of things I had coming in. No, yeah, I definitely didn't have that on my list, but um, it was a awesome, great year. It was fun, really fun year.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, a couple of your players were co-MVPs of the league as well. So like, how did you mentioned, some familiarity there. You'd coach those guys in AAU. Kind of what's kind of your background as far as coaching? Like, how did you get into it and how'd you get started at coaching?
Yeah, so I kind of started from the ground up, man. So I started coaching with Minneapolis Fab with like Lucas Patterson. I think he's the head coach at Minnesota Prep, kind of runs the whole Minnesota Prep organization. So he used to have Minneapolis Fab AAU program. So I started there as a volunteer coach. Yeah, just kind of grinding my way up, and then
Hmm.
I went over to Edina, and I was a 5C coach, 7C, or then 7B, and then 8B, like kind of just working my way up.
Yeah.
And then after through that, just getting my name out there, getting to know different coaches, and then um got in contact with JD Jones, who's like Tyus Jones and Trey Jones's oldest brother, who's, man, I mean, you want to talk about basketball mind, this dude has like the greatest basketball mind I've ever been around in my life.
Yeah.
um but so shout out to him. But yeah, just being a fly on the wall in the gym with him and with his working with his brothers, and just like, man, doing everything from like filming filming their workouts, rebounding, whatever, asking questions. And then, JD, knowing a lot of people in the basketball world, reached out to Jerry Klein, and said, "Hey man, Cam would be a great guy. He wants to learn and, just continue improving his, basketball coaching career." And so Jerry put me on his staff, and honestly, like, I thought I'd be like on, the freshman coach or something, but he put me right in the fire, and I was like the JV head coach and varsity assistant. And that was like the year where it was like Javon Hadley and Trey Jones, or sorry, Javon Hadley and Trey Holloman and Curtis Jones. And man, really good team. We ended up season ended up being cut short because of COVID, but we ended up winning the section final against East Ridge to go to state. And then that following year we went to the state championship and ended up losing to like Wayzata.
Hmm.
So was there for 2 years, and then um honestly, we've just been a guy who wants to like challenge himself, right? So it's like I was like, hey man, I want to go coach college now. Let's see what I can do like at the college level. Like, let's see if I
Yeah.
can have some success there. Um so I mean, uh if anyone were to ask me like what type of guy am I, am, I'm just a grinder. I ended up applying for like 50 college jobs, and was going to a bunch of college camps around like the Midwest region, and then ended up getting an opportunity with Bethel, and again grinded my way through that. Like, I was just like, again, I was a player development guy and I was a recruiter. That was all I did my first year at Bethel, and then my role increased and I kind of became uh the like assistant offensive coordinator with like Zach Filzen, who's, I think he's now at St. John's.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, just worked grinding there for a couple years, and then wanted to be a head coach. So again, challenging myself again. And took over at Hill Murray, which was not a basketball school. And I
Yeah.
was just determined, like, I'm gonna make this a basketball school, right? Like, I'm gonna try and, have big dreams of making this like, you know, we're gonna go to state, we're gonna do all these things. And we ended up having some success. My first year, we were like won 11 games. That was like the first time they had won like more than 10 games in like almost 15 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I'm gonna count that as some success.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then I was there for 2 years, and then Scott Howell at Central ended up stepping down, and just people that I know like throughout the basketball community was like, hey man, you should put your name in the hat at Central. And then it's like, all right. And I knew they'd be good just because again I had some of those kids during AAU, and so got the job, and yeah, kind of the rest is history as far as this last year went.
Yeah, I mean, your team, you mentioned kind of had a little nucleus from AAU. So like how important, I mean, I think most people who play basketball, there's like this familiarity you have to have, right? Like
Yeah.
you just when you anticipate each other, both offensively, defensively, everything goes faster. Um, was that like a team driven? Like did you have those leaders that were like, hey, this is what we're doing and we believe and we know we got something here and we're gonna stick together?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like our leader, Eli Moseman, right? Like he was the one who kind of, drove the car essentially, right? Like he was our guy. He everyone kind of followed behind him, and in that relationship again, that started when he was, I want to say 12 or 13, right? Like he's got everyone's kind of seeing him now as a player and like, man, who's this guy? He came out of nowhere, but like I seen the leadership, the competitiveness, like his will to win, and like when he was 12, 13. I mean,
Mhm.
I knew we'd be good just because I mean all the guys, but also him as well. Like at 12, he's challenging me in a huddle. Like, coach, why are we running this play? Like, why are we doing this? And I had to have it together and be like, hey, here's why I want to do this. And so I would say I was like Bill Belichick, he was Tom Brady, right? Like we just had that like natural chemistry, right? Like, yeah, it's pretty awesome having a guy like that where that relationship was so strong, where I just had complete trust, like what he would do, like on the floor, or timeouts were never hectic. It was just like straight strategic. Like, hey, here's what we got to do next. Here's the next progression, um, and we would challenge each other, like, hey, well, coach, let's try this next time. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, so it was
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, gotta have that trust. I mean, it's funny
Yeah.
because like in the NBA, and there's a lot of talk about the Timberwolves right now, and like, do you need a true point guard and this and that, and like point guards have changed through the years, but like that floor leader who knows what everyone's supposed to do, who can control the
Yes.
flow of the game, still I think matters a lot. I mean, Jalen Brunson is Exhibit A, right? Like he just
Yes. Exactly.
controls the game.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think even more like in high school basketball, right? Like
Mhm.
if you think about every really good team in the state of Minnesota, they have a great point guard, right?
Yeah.
Like Kareem Hall, JoJo Mitchell,
Yep.
uh, right? I mean,
Tartan,
if you think,
KJ,
yeah, Tartan, KJ,
pretty good.
right? Right? Like every really good team in high school has a really good point guard, right? You like
Yeah.
think that you need that floor general to take charge and help you win games.
Yeah. I don't want to like have the whole episode here be about
Yeah.
last year, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah, for
curious
sure.
because I know um St. Paul, Minneapolis, specifically those two cities really care about
Oh,
basketball. It's a big part of the
huge.
city and youth sports in those two cities. Um, did you hear from alums? Like, what was that like as you guys were going through your season, having success and being ranked in the top 10 and things like that? Were you hearing from folks?
Man, ton of alums like reaching out. I mean, after the games, hey, I went here in 85, I went here in 92. I love what you're doing. I went here in 2000, just everyone just kind of sharing like their stories. And oh man, it was very like special just to like know that we kind of etched our names like in the history books. Like it was very cool, just to hear from a lot of those guys like sharing, their stories and kind of, before the season, I would say before the season kind of took off where we're winning like 10, 12 in a row, guys are just like, you got to bring the city back, bring Central back. It's
Yeah.
like, so it's like, man, I'm going into every game like, okay, there's a lot of weight like on my shoulders to like, bring Central basketball back. But I think it made for like a fun environment, um, coming out to a game. Like I hadn't seen packed stands like that since I was on CDH's staff. Like it was just like, I mean, it was nuts. It was fun to like just like be a part of. Uh, just seeing how much the community like got behind us. It was really cool.
So year one, quite a bit of success, good season by all accounts. How do you replicate that? How do you get your team and your program's mindset to be like, that wasn't the goal. Like we now have to sustain this success and this is the expectation.
Yeah. I mean, we just finished up day one today, and that was kind of the first thing that I talked to the guys about is um I say like comparison is like the thief of joy, right? So it's like, all right, let's not compare. Like, yes, that season was great, and yes, that season was like special, but like, who are we gonna be, this year, and like, what's gonna be our identity, and how are we gonna measure success, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be pretty young, going into this season, so just trying to have the guys attack like each day and not focus so much on like, man, we're not as good as the other guys last year. Like, and yes, are they going to be compared to the last year's team? Yes, for sure they are. But I just want them to keep everything in house and like just focus on what we're trying to do each day. And that'll come. Success will come, and success will look different on how we measure that with this group.
Yeah, I mean, every team, even if you have returning players, it's like every season's so unique, right? Like what you did last year has really no bearing on other than, maybe you gain confidence because, you can play with a certain team or you beat a certain team. Like those kinds of things might carry over. But at the end of the day, man,
Yeah. Got to roll
everything's
the ball
different.
out, and everything's
Yeah.
different, and different skill sets and different mentalities. That's like a big one is like, I think we only have 2 seniors, right? So last year we had 11 seniors. So when there's 11 seniors, there's just a different level of, in my opinion, there's a different level of urgency from those 11 seniors. Like, this is my
Right.
last year, right? I often say too, like at practice, I'll be like, hey guys, like these 11 seniors have 26 guaranteed, right? And if you're a junior, you have, whatever, 50 something games left, right? So it's like your level of urgency changes as those games sort of dwindle down in your career. Like as you get older, you're like, oh, this is it. 26 is it, and it's done. Right. Versus like if you're a junior, like, oh, well, I still got like,
Yeah.
50 games left or whatever. Yeah. So
Right. At that point, you're hoping if there's any of that mindset that they appreciate the seniors enough to give it everything they have for those guys, right? Like you're just
right.
kind of build that culture of team and caring about each other that because even with a junior, you blow your ACL
It's done.
next November and then you're gone. So even at that age, you still have to appreciate those moments,
Oh,
hopefully.
100%. 100%.
So what did you learn from year one coaching that team that you all like adjust, or was there anything that stood out where like, we were pretty good at X, but man, we really this summer I want to, you don't have to give away trade secrets,
Yeah.
but anything
Yeah.
kind of stand out, like things that you learned as a coach for this summer?
I think knowing for sure, my staff and I met last week, and we're like, we're going to have to do a lot more teaching. Um, this group last year could play a lot in the gray area, right?
Mhm.
Like a play breaks down. All right, Seffi can get to a ball screen and play at a ball screen, right? And they knew how to, yeah, without giving away any of my stuff, but like they kind of knew the reads out of a pick and
Yeah.
roll, right? Or
Yeah.
they knew the reads when a play would break down. Versus, like this group, we're gonna just have to do a lot more small-sided games, right? Where we're breaking things down and we're teaching a ton. Where not to say that I didn't have to teach last year as much, but like they just grasp concepts a little quicker than this group, which is okay. That's a part of being a coach, right? Like it's just sharpening my teaching tools. So just being a lot, I would say also being patient is a big thing we talked about last week when we met. Is like, guys, we're gonna have to be super, super patient with this group and know that again, we're measuring our success differently than what we did last year. So if people that do know me know that I'm like a fiery, passionate coach. So I'm still gonna be fiery. I'm still gonna be passionate, but I'm just gonna be coming with a different mindset. Like, hey, we're gonna have to be real teachers this year and uh, preparing. Obviously, we want to have success this year, but it's like, okay, can we get the guys to jail and build that chemistry? So yes, we have success, but then we can really launch into those kids' senior years when they're juniors turn to seniors, and I think we'll look different going into their senior year as we compare it to like how we'll look this year.
Sure.
I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like sometimes it's that first year is, you're just kind of feeling it out and you're kind of in a whirlwind. If you got some seniors, you can kind of just, um, I don't know. I don't want to say like get through it, but then that next year is kind of like where you're like, okay, culture building, like setting the tone.
Yes.
Now we have a full off season. The kids know me better. Like that first year is really tough, I think. It can be good in some ways, but it's kind of like you don't have a full control over your program yet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like I think I got the job like late May, and then it was like 2 weeks, boom, we're right into workouts. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? What kind of offense do I want to run? Like, versus this year, it's like we got to sit down as a staff. We really got to like ask those questions, like, hey, can we run our offense with this group? If not, what are some different things we can do with this group? And so again, like I said, like this is all like teaching. Like we're gonna introduce some of our offensive concepts that we had last year, but if it's not working with this group, what's kind of our backup plan on how we can get those guys to have offensive production this year?
Sure.
Yeah.
So as someone who's coached AAU, coached at a couple different programs, coached college, how do you balance what you do in your workouts with your team versus what they're doing individually versus what they're doing on AAU teams? Like, do you have conversations with them about what they're doing, or do you just kind of like you have, hey, these are the things, more team concepts maybe, or like how do you run your summer program?
Yeah, I think with summer, it's at the high school level versus like college, right? At the college level, when you're doing like, summer off season, like workouts, right? Like, the guys who are showing up, you kind of know their personnel, what they can do. But at the high school level, you honestly don't know who's going to walk through your door day one. You have no idea, right? You have a general, like, okay, I have some returners that'll be there, right? But there might be a kid that just transferred that you didn't know that was going to come, right? That'll change your whole, like, oh man, like we just had a couple today. We're like, oh, I didn't know that you were going to be here. All right. That changes everything about what I want to do today. So you just kind of never, I don't know. I kind of go in general, right? Like, cause I want to introduce some of the like offensive concepts so that when we do start in November with tryouts, the kids who came in the summer kind of already have an idea of like, oh, this is what he means terminology wise. So for example, I'm just kind of looking at my practice plan today. Like our first half was just like skills, right? So a ton of it was like skill work, where that's just like, can we V cut properly? Can we L cut properly? How do we close out properly? How do we box out properly? What's our like defensive like shell positions, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be rotating to the like we're gonna close out. When we close out, help side's gonna be closing out to the gap, and then we're gonna make sure we're in the nail. We're gonna make sure we're in the MIG. We're not giving up, baseline drop. Like just introducing some of those like basic concepts, and then offensively as well, introducing like some of our basic concepts. But again, I try and do. I mean, this might be a freshman's first time playing
Right.
basketball versus a junior who's been in the program for 3 years, right? Like it's just like it's so that's a challenge in itself. So then I come from being a teacher for the last 10 years. It's like I come in with a basic lesson plan, I would call it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to differentiate it based on skill level and grade level. And I might say, hey, we got returners who are upperclassmen. You guys are going to be on this floor. We're going to be running this, but I might add a couple things to it. While those freshmen are over there, they're doing the same thing, but it's not on the same level as those returners who are familiar with some of the like concepts that we've already taught them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What did you take away from your time at Bethel as far as coaching, maybe at the high school level? Like,
Yeah.
I did 1 year also in the MIAC, but there was things where I was like, wow, this is extremely helpful. And then there are other things where I'm like, yeah, but I got kids who can't do that. So
Yeah.
I can't run this, thing. So like, what are the things that you definitely use that you learned at that time? And then are there things where you're like,
Scrap.
that stuff is just too high level for high school kids?
I think that was a great question. I think what I took away um, was the attention to detail about like creating a plan day to day, like
Mm,
creating a practice plan that like builds on each other after every single day. That was
mm-hmm,
what like Zach Filson at Bethel did really, 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 really well, right? Like his practice plans were always super detailed and they always built on each other. And that's
mm-hmm.
one thing I took away right away. It's like, okay, every day has to build on each other, like build from the next. So when I reintroduce something, the kids can always refer back to what we did the day before. Like, oh, that's connected to that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that was really good. Um, the importance of like scout, like
Mm.
at the college level, the scout is like so detailed.
Yep.
It's so detailed. um, where I brought that down to the high school level, and the kids are like, at first it was over their heads. They're like, "Whoa, this is a lot." So I've learned to kind of you asked that question, like, what am I going to do differently? I think just tailoring down my scout a little bit. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I think last year was like 2 pages, like super detailed, or it's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of like scale it back a little bit, like, what do those opponents, what do they hang their hats on, and like just kind of just scale it back a little bit. Like, what is the
Yeah.
team, what is the opponent trying to accomplish, and what are we gonna do to like stop them from accomplishing that? Like, I just want to, yeah, just get it a little bit uh tailored, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
um, but that's one thing I noticed right away is like how detailed the practice plans and the scouts were. It was like, man, we never went into a practice or a game not prepared. And if I don't, if you watch some of our games, like, and another thing I took away was, um, like having a cohesive, like staff, right? Like everybody on the bench, like has a job. And that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I took away from there. And it was like challenging from like my staff at Hill Murray, my first like couple of years. They're like, wait, I get to say stuff like in the huddle, and I get to like have a voice and like do, it's like, yeah, like, me and this coach are the offensive coordinators. You're the defensive coordinators. Like, and that's one thing I took away from like what he would do at Bethel and at the college level that like I implemented here at the high school level. Even at Central, like some of my staff were like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, like, hey, Coach Mike, you're the defensive coordinator with Coach Shea in a full timeout, right? You're going to go over there and talk to the guys for 30 seconds. Me and Coach Steve are going to be out of the huddle, and we're going to be talking about our execution on offense. And then when you come in and give kids 30 seconds of what the plan is, and I'm going to come in right behind you and follow through with what our offensive plan is. And I think once we got to a flow, they understood that, right? Like, and the players kind of understood, like, okay, I'm going to coach these two coaches for a defensive, idea, and I'm going to these coaches for an offensive idea. And I just think it helped build that the chemistry and and then some things I kind of like scrapped. Obviously, can't recruit, so that was one. But I'm happy to not have to like be on the road every day in like random small towns in Iowa and Minnesota and trying to convince a 16th or 17-year-old to come play Division III basketball.
Yeah.
But there's so much that I took away. I can talk about that for a while. There's so many things like I took away from my 2 years there that like I think helped make me a better coach.
I
And
think
just
one of the
like,
things that people don't realize sometimes is they're like, oh, it's D3, whatever. It's like they're so good. Like the levels of basketball between high school, D3, D2, D1, it's just like when you're out recruiting and you start seeing that, you're like, that's a D2 kid. You can
yep,
just tell,
you could
like,
just
that's a
tell.
D3. Yes. And
Yes.
so, like, the fact, that you get some parents who get all worked up about certain things, I'm like, listen, like, when you've seen this and you see what these kids are like and how good you have to be, and not just how good, but like how hard you have to work
Yes.
and stuff, and like that's always stood out to me. I remember we were uh when I was at Concordia, we had Hamlin had gotten a guy from the Twin Cities. I can't remember his name, but he played at like Bucknell in Division
Yep.
One. He's like 6'7", wing, super athletic. He walks in the gym. I'm like, he don't look like anybody else in here. Like you can
No.
just tell that guy's got different physical attributes.
Yes.
And he was like their second leading scorer. He wasn't even their best player at that time. So it's just like
Okay.
the levels that you get to, and even at D3, it's just it's
Yeah.
really good basketball.
Oh yeah, really good. It would be kids that I'd be recruiting, and they go, Coach, I got some D2 looks. Like if I go D3, I'm gonna average 20 points a game. It's like all right, we'll see, we'll
Yeah.
see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
You're not. It's man,
Yeah.
really good
The,
athletes.
the thing you said there that stuck with me was like the attention to detail, because that was something I took away too. Is like you can't do all of that because you're with those guys 6 days a week in college, and there's other things that you probably have to work on with high school kids. But I do remember that as well, and that being such an important part of teaching the game, and not
Man,
letting any little fundamental mistake kind of go slide, right? Like it was like,
yes,
no, this is how we do it. And we're going to do it this way. And it's really minute, but man, we're going to harp on it. And, it's probably not to that level of detail in high school, but I think that stuff does carry over a little bit. And certain things like how you do, your closeouts, or how do you, work your rotations, or, whatever that thing is, it's like, that just really, it's really important.
no, I agree. That's another thing I didn't bring up. Like I think it helped me be super detailed on like the things like I want to teach. Like if we're teaching a ball screen coverage, it's like super detailed on like our foot placement and like
Mm-hmm.
um where our hips are pointing towards, like or like setting a ball screen, like how do we screen, like we should be screening their back pocket, like just so many of those like little like details that I like learned, I think helped.
Mm-hmm.
But also think that these kids need too at the high school level, where like I try and tell the kids, like, I'm giving you the answers to the test. Like if you want to play college basketball and you want to play as a freshman, whether that be Division 1 and 2, 3 NAIA, like, dude, I'm giving you the answers so you can show up as a freshman and you know how to switch properly, right? How to hedge properly, how to play in drop coverage properly,
Mm-hmm.
how to rotate properly on defense, like all those things, so that they're not redshirting their freshman year, right? And then they're like,
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna go in the transfer portal because I'm not playing. It's like, because you haven't learned how to play yet. You're still
Yeah.
18 years old.
Right.
So if I can give you a
And
little bit of a leg up, yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that is underrated is that a lot of college coaches look at body language. And that they don't really think about that, but man, if you're looking at four kids and they're all pretty equal, this one's got great body language, that kid's the one you want as a coach. So
Man, if I can tell how many kids I swiped off my list when I was recruiting, right? Like, I think that's what kids also gotta understand. Like, if they want to be recruited, like, we're showing up to a Wayzata at a tournament when I was coaching college with a packet like this thick, full of teams and kids. It's like, man, we're just trying to funnel through as many kids as possible. So, like, if you have bad body language, just the first, I can just go whoop,
yeah.
whoop, whoop. Oh, you're talking back to your coach, whoop, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, I noticed you had a great game, but after the game, your mom picked up your bag, whoop. Like, there's just like so many, like, like, and that's one thing I would tell the kids. Like, when I was coaching college, like, I was trying to find reasons not to like recruit you.
Yeah.
Like, so then I could funnel through that list of kids because I had to, call and reach out to so many kids. It's like, yeah, like you made a perfect statement. Like if there were kids that were even, it's like those are the little things that either got a kid recruited or got a kid not recruited. Is like your body language. It
Yeah.
like, oh, I can talk about that all day too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the D3 recruiting stories are fun, that's
Oh,
for sure.
oh, nuts. Oh, oh
I
man.
think there was times where you'd be like so excited. You're like, oh man, I saw this kid at this, AAU tournament. He looks awesome. And somebody be like, yeah, he's going to like, whatever,
Yep.
he's already committed to like a D2 or D, he's getting
Yep.
scholarship money somewhere. And you're like, ah, of course.
Yep,
So
yep. Let me scratch that guy off.
yeah, oh, shoot.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah,
Or go on Twitter and be like, I'm gonna type this guy's name in. He was great. And he's like, oh, already has like, 5 Division II
yeah,
offers. Oh, all
yeah,
right, here we go. Not even gonna reach out.
yeah, right. Not to mention some of the gyms you get to go to and the traveling in the snow and all that stuff. So
Oh man. I remember just one story I'll share is taking my wife. She was 7 months pregnant at the time with our firstborn. And the kid ended up coming to Bethel. But yeah, I had to drive all the way like past Des Moines in a
whew.
snowstorm to like Pella, Iowa to go recruit this kid.
And your wife was with you, pregnant.
Yeah. And she
Ah.
took the drive with me. I was like, no, it'll be fun. Like we'll get we'll hang out.
So
We'll
you
get
lied. You
yeah, I
lied
lied.
to
I lied. We'll get food. Like, well, we'll talk. It'll be great. And it was a snowstorm. She's like, this is not fun. And I think I talked to the kid for all of 20 minutes after the
her.
game to make the drive back. And she's like, yeah, you're going to have to make that drive by yourself next time. Oh,
That's a more of like a long-term vetting process for the health of your marriage, probably, because if she's willing to do that, man,
oh yeah, I'm
keep
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You might have to earn some time back with her in other ways,
oh,
but like that, that's
definitely.
commitment.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Huge. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, she's biggest supporter. She's biggest supporter for sure.
That's awesome. I got a couple quick questions if we'll wrap up with
Yeah, yeah.
some fun, lighter topics. First of all, I'm sure Central has the best gym in the St. Paul City Conference, but outside of Central, toughest gym or toughest environment you played on in the conference?
Johnson easily.
Yeah, I
Johnson.
figured.
It was like,
The tradition, the rivalry.
dude, it's
Yeah.
the tradition. I mean, legit, you walk in. I remember he's playing like Tupac, like hit him up. And I'm like, oh, this is legit. Like, I mean, the fans, you could just feel them like just staring you down. Like, I didn't even want to make eye contact. I'm walking in and I'm like, oh man, like it just felt like every bucket mattered so much. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that one was probably like that in Highland, because Highland, it's a small gym and it's easy to pack, and they kind of feel like the fans are kind of just like right there, because their bench is not far. So that
Hmm.
one was another one. Like, I mean, you're literally like sitting like benches here, and the fans are like, I mean, they can hear everything we're saying in a huddle. Like that's how close they were. So that one, I mean, I'm like one step and I'm on the floor. Like it
Yeah.
was that one. I would probably say, yeah, it's a tie between Highland and Johnson. Those two gyms are like, oh yeah, they pack it out at a central rivalry game.
I want to see you next year pull the Dusty May at Michigan, where he sits in the student section of the
Oh
at Michigan State. Did you see that this year? Where
yeah,
he's just like hanging out.
it's like
Yeah,
oh
take it in.
that'll be cool. That'll be cool. I maybe should have
Uh,
did that when we beat Johnson at Central. But
not that you need any more fuel to that fire in that
right.
rivalry, but you mentioned you're not originally from Minnesota, from the LA area. Better
Yeah.
food scene, Twin Cities, LA.
Man,
Different
LA
food
people
scene.
they're gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna go Twin Cities.
Oh,
I think we just have
surprised.
there's just a really good food scene in Minneapolis. And then even like St. Paul too, like has some really good like spots. So yeah, my wife and I are like foodies, so that's like our
Yeah.
thing. Date night, we're going to go to it. We're gonna go try something new. And I feel
Mm,
like Minneapolis, like just the Twin Cities in general, there's always just new restaurants popping up. And
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Sorry, LA. I
Wow.
don't know,
Wow.
Minneapolis.
I mean, I'm gonna assume that if you're looking for street tacos, it's still LA, but
Yes. If I'm looking for street
yeah.
tacos, 100% I'm going LA. But I would say the variety, there's a good variety here.
Wow.
And like, yeah, within like a, even like within like a 10-mile radius too, there's just like so much variety of like
Yeah.
different restaurants.
That was an upset. I think the betting line had LA on that one. But that's good to know. I
No.
mean, I always brag about the food scene in the Twin Cities too, and I feel like it just comes across like
Yeah.
homerish, but I'm like, no, it's like legit good, and it's like not crazy expensive. You don't have to,
Oh,
you know, like hand
yes.
over your whole wallet just to get like a good meal. Like, so
Right.
yeah.
Like, yeah. Whenever I have family in town, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you some good spots. And they're
Yeah.
always pretty wild when I show them some spots, or when I
Do
go
they
there and those spots.
do they only come in summer?
Yes, never.
Okay.
Actually, I've had one cousin come in the winter, and then she's like, "I'm never doing this again."
Oh, that's great. All right. Final question. What is the one non-negotiable for a player in your program? Like what is the biggest thing that you
Oh, that
expect
I'm
out
gonna.
of your
Oh
players?
yeah. Oh, sacrifice for your brother, and that can look like a bunch of things. Like I'm big on like if it's a 2-on-1 first touch situation, if you don't one more it, I don't care if you're the 40% shooter and this kid is the, whatever, 20% shooter, but he's wide open and you don't one more it. Oh, I lose my mind. That's like because it's like gonna come back and like bite you later, right?
Hmm.
Where it's like if you don't share it, and let's say it's a miss, but now, or if it's a make, but now I just think it's a like, yeah, domino effect. Like now you don't share it. Now that kid's going to get tight with the ball, right? And now he doesn't want to share it. And
Hmm.
now he might shoot a shot that could have, maybe he should have one more it to you. I just think that's kind of my big non-negotiable is like, yeah, when you're on the floor, share it. And then like the biggest cheerleader when you're on the bench is a big one for me. Right? Like I'm super energetic on the bench. So like kid makes a shot, I'm cheering. And I hate to look over and see like a guy who like, might be upset. Like, man, maybe I yanked him a little early and they're just like, I don't know,
Hmm.
like in themselves, like, I don't know. I say die to yourself a lot, like, cause you just need to die to yourself. Like in life in general, like it can't be about you. It's not about you. It has to be bigger than the team. And I think that's what basketball teaches too, like in sports too, is like I say, guys, do you want to be married one day? And they're like, yeah, I want to be married one day. You're gonna have to die to yourself. It can't be about you. It can't be
Yeah.
about, your shots, right? There's gonna be times where I didn't get sleep and now I gotta wake up early for like with my kids.
Hmm.
Like and so I think that's a big one too for me. It's like, you know, what's your body language look like on the bench? Like get out of yourself. Uh
Hmm.
because I was never the best player. So it's like, I know what that feels like when you feel like, hey, I should be getting some more minutes, but you gotta, gotta die to yourself and be about the team and be about the team's success. I think that's what we had last year. Not to
Yeah.
continue talking about last year, but I think we had a lot of guys yeah, who were not about themselves, who were about the team and about the success. So
Yeah.
they're
Well,
kind of
you brought it back there. I was going to bring it back there because I'm
yeah,
like, that sounds like that trust, and you build that trust early. And like you said, like, it's not about, hey, do you make the shot? It's like, I trust you to make the shot. And that gives
yeah,
that kid confidence to keep going
right,
because, that's just, yeah, that's the part of basketball. The last episode we did was a couple ago about pickup basketball. And one of those things was like, about playing with people who know the game and like, I don't care if you make this, man. I'm not here to win the NBA title. I'm here to have
yes,
fun and get a run in and whatever.
yes,
And if I won more, and one of the guys actually brought up the extra pass, and he's like, that was
yes,
like, it's a great moment, and it seems silly, but it is just like it's a team thing that just comes out in special
yeah,
ways and hopefully in the biggest moments. So
yes, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm a story guy. I always tell stories, but we had a kid. Shout out James Brown. I mean, he was like a kid coming in. We're like, man, he's probably gonna be like our, you know, 10th guy off the bench. I don't know. He ended up being our like sixth man, and like they were kind of, obviously taking away Seffi, taking away Eli. He against Cottage Grove went off for like 13 points. We had so many of those stories. Again, like Tess Stern.
hmm
Tess Stern, they Como triangled and two'd us,
hmm.
and he goes off for like 25 because Eli's like, it's not my night. It's clearly your night. They're
Yeah,
go, go, go. And he's just goes off for 25. So it's
that's
like,
amazing.
yeah. So that's those are my two, big ones. Like, man, share the ball. It's so much enjoyable when we're sharing the ball. And and it's fun for everybody. It's fun for the coaches just to see guys like everyone's getting in touch. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff, man. I appreciate it. This was super
Thank
fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything you want to share with the listeners, the audience about the summer, about next year's team?
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I got to plug. I got to please, St. Paul City, continue to support the St. Paul City hoops, not just Central, but and not just Johnson and all the teams. There's a lot of great coaches, a lot of good basketball
Hmm.
going on in the St. Paul area. So continue to like show your support and the surrounding suburbs. Come check it out. We got some good players, some great coaches. So. Um, we're gonna continue to focus on what we're doing in the city, but yeah, come watch. There's some good basketball going on too in the city.
Absolutely. We'll be watching. I'd love to have you on again next season as we get rolling. I know things get busy in the winter, but
For sure.
maybe November, December, we can get you back on.
Oh yeah, I'm open to it for sure. Anytime.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Cam.
Yes.
Head coach of the St. Paul Central Minutemen, Cam Jones. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
So that's the episode for today. Thanks again to Cam Jones, head coach at St. Paul Central. Appreciate him coming on. A lot of great stuff. Really enjoyed that conversation. You can tell there's a lot of excitement in the city of St. Paul and even in Minneapolis with some of the news recently of players staying home and wanting to win for the city schools. And that's always a good thing for the game of basketball when kids are staying in their local communities and wanting to bring their school and their city to more basketball prominence. Obviously, it's a little bit of a downtime for basketball, but it's only a couple of weeks until NBA Summer League, and I'll be heading out there. Going to try to do a show from Las Vegas. We'll see if that can happen. Between now and then, we got plenty of things to talk about. We'll probably go weekly episodes from now through the summer, and then before you know it, State Fair will be here, fall will be here, and we'll be talking about fall hoops, and we'll be getting ready for the seasons. Hope everyone's enjoying the summer, getting the kids in the gym, get yourself in the gym if you're playing a pickup run. But I've really enjoyed doing this podcast. We're coming up on, almost a year here. And I got to say, it's been really enjoyable just to keep talking about it. I'm learning new things every time I go out and record and have guests, and it's just been a blast. So I hope you're having fun with me. And again, like I said at the top, if you would be so kind, please leave a review, leave a comment, share it with a friend, whatever you got to do. We're going to keep this thing rolling, keep this thing growing. So again, Steve Hartman, this has been the Splash City Basketball Podcast.
Back in that bag again.